Welcome to Hunter's Hub episode 43. I wanted to make sure to get that right because we recorded 44 already. You'll hear it later. This is Fortuan here. Today we're just joined by returning guest MaddWolfe. How you doing?
Yup. Hey, what's going on? So it's a timey-wimey type deal.
Yeah. We recorded with Wolfie Melon and Sohel Kite, and they're in the Britlands, the UK. So coordinating a time to record with them is very difficult. So they were like, "Hey, let's record tomorrow." I know. Okay. So there we go, and we're out of order now. But hey, we'll make it work. But first of all, I want to thank one of those guests, Wolfie Melon, for the music that probably ended a while ago at this point. And then Jeremy Clark for the art, and r/Monster Hunter World. So let's just get right into it, Mad. We're going to be talking about PC.
Woo! I am ready.
You are ready. Now, full disclosure, I did not buy the PC version. I didn't intend to buy the PC version because I have almost 600 hours in the PlayStation version. I don't need to do that again. So, which sources say a lot of people feel the same way.
Yeah, there's unfortunately now there's like a division between the peoples.
Yeah.
You know, you have we're not, unfortunately, we can't even count the Xbox players because there's not a lot of people playing on the Xbox. And it's unfortunate because a lot of those Xbox players, or the few that I've met, they're like, well, there's really nobody to play with. You know, so they're basically just running solo. And if they have a friend or two, they're
right. Gaijin Hunter plays on the Xbox, though.
Yeah.
So everyone can join up with him.
Yeah. So right now, PS4 and PC. So there's a nice fat or thin line, whichever you prefer, is being drawn because you have your people who are like, I already played on PlayStation 4. I have a bazillion hours. I collected every single item and all this other stuff. I'm not about to start over. And then there are those who are like, well, there's no point in me buying the PC version because I already played the PlayStation 4 version, so I'm waiting on the Switch, the Switch version of Monster Hunter, well, not Hunter, but Ultimate.
Generations Ultimate. Yep.
Generations Ultimate. Yeah, so they're waiting on that version. They're more excited to play that than playing PC over again.
I mean, you're kind of describing the exact conversation that Robbie and Abby and I had. Like, we all said, yeah, no, we're just getting GU. Like,
yeah, and then there are those who can't afford
the Switch,
the game,
right,
or a Switch, or they can't afford World, or because they don't have a PC. So they're on a laptop or something, or a toaster of a PC that can't handle Monster Hunter World. So it's and it's unfortunate because a lot of people were hoping that everybody will make the migration over to PC and have just as much people to play with as in PlayStation 4. Because me, who's been playing now for a few days on and off, I noticed that the servers on PC are not all there. There's only like a couple of people playing here and there. A lot of the Twitch streamers who created their own groups on Steam, because the PC version, you go off by that. It's not. I don't think you create guilds or squads anymore. So you just create a Steam group and that's how you can find your friends through
Which is
there.
a much better way to do
Or
it, I would think.
yeah, it is. It's a much better way than just sitting there and waiting on them to send you their session ID, or you have to friend them on PlayStation on PSN to just be able to join in on their session.
Right. Well, yeah. Yeah. I was going to say, well, I mean, no, I had to, I'm actually friends with Wolfie on there because I've joined Wolfie's room a couple times.
Yeah. So yeah, there's that downside about it. But then again, it's early. I mean, it just came out on Thursday, so I would say another week or two maybe, or maybe even a month down the road, because you have to give people, I guess, the chance to either make up their minds whether they want to buy it or not, or if they gather the resources to be able to buy said game or
Right.
PC, or even upgrade their PC.
Yeah. Yeah. I built a new PC. I've mentioned that a couple times, and it could definitely handle Monster Hunter. And one of the reasons that I wanted to do it is to get the PC version. I've been saying since the beginning, yeah, I'm going to get it on PC too. But like, I put so many hours, and like, you kind of like, I get to the point where it's like I don't want to play anymore. I still haven't even tried Behemoth again since we last were on. Like,
Right.
I haven't cared to. Like, it.
Right. I mean, I beat him once, and I haven't been able to find a better another pug. I guess I had the pug of legend, as they call it in other games. For those of you who don't know what pug is, it's pickup
Yes.
group. So it's a random pickup group that and you play with. And so I had the pug of legend. We beat it. I haven't been able to beat it since, and I only got the what was it? The Poogie, not the Poogie, the Pelico gear set.
Yeah.
And that was it. So he looks like a Moogle, and everything else is unlocked, but I just can't buy it yet because obviously I don't have the resources to craft it.
Right.
So it's I know you had a bunch of people there that started playing solo, which made it even worse. So it was tough enough to find a good group, but now all of the good people have decided to solo Behemoth.
Dude, I might attempt that to see what happens, because that's been my thing. I've only ever not soloed one monster, and that would be Gogmazios. So, well, I mean, at this point, it's also I've never soloed Xeno or Zora, but I don't care. Like,
Right.
I just don't care. I wanted to ask you, with the PC version, are you using a controller, or are you doing the whole mouse and keyboard spiel?
Oh, mouse and keyboard, man, and I'm loving it. But before we get into that, I'm going to answer a question that I was supposed to answer 2 or 3 episodes ago, and that was the specs. And that was the specs on my computer.
Okay.
Now, for my computer, I have an AMD FX 8-core processor. It's a 4.01 gigahertz.
Okay.
I have 16 gigabytes of RAM. Obviously, Windows 10, 64-bit. For my graphics card, I have a EVGA GeForce GTX 960, 4 gigabits. Look at the specs here real quick. It's a PCI Express 3.0. It's 1304 megahertz. So it's up there. It's not super, but it's enough to handle what Monster Hunter has been able to throw
Right.
at it.
For context, for people who wouldn't know those computer parts, because I barely do, even though I built my own. It's actually a pretty decent machine to have. That's a little bit under what I just built mine with. I know a little bit under. Like I think really the only thing that you were far behind on is the CPU for me because I have technically a 12 core. Yeah.
I mean, I've heard of 8, well, not 8, 12. Yeah, 12. I've heard of it, but I was just never able to find one as of yet.
Yeah.
So. But I'm in the process of upgrading.
Yeah, I mean, like that's like really the only thing that you're that far behind me on. I think my graphics card is a little bit better too, but like that's still a really hefty machine for those who wouldn't recognize those terms. That's I mean that's probably going to keep you running for at least another 2 years. As far as playing the latest and greatest games. I was in the boat of not being able to play any of the latest and greatest games for a long time because I had the same PC that I bought for $400 like for 8 years. I had that PC. And that's what I was doing the podcast with before I got this one, and that's why it took me 6 hours to edit every episode. So wow. It also didn't help that's like in the time period of us doing way more than an hour too.
Right.
Like, way more, like 2.5. I think 2:45 was our record, and it was like episode 3 of the original version of the podcast before we rebranded as Hunter Sub. And look at me forgetting to put my phone on vibrate. There we go. Okay, so pretty good machine. So you said you're playing mouse and keyboard. I've heard complaints about that.
Yes. Well, I mean, it depends. I mean, for me, I like to customize my stuff. I mean, I never stay at default. Never. I always have my own customization. I try to keep it consistent with other games that I play. So that way I know, like, okay, well, here's what my health is going to be. Here's what my world map is going to be. And, here's what my communications button is going to be. So, yeah, so I try to keep it consistent.
Yeah, that's not bad.
And so, of course, obviously you're going to have different opinions, of course, because not a lot of people like to customize. They don't necessarily like that. They like to keep it default or whatever their preference is, But yeah, for me, I customize the crap out of it, and I found it. And I'm playing with longsword, by the way. I have yet to play with heavy bowgun because I wanted to try the longsword first. And man, dude, the difference in the timing,
because of the frame rate. Yeah,
because of the nice frame rate. Now you can get the 60 frames per second or whatever the frame rate. You could also go put it on unlimited.
Yeah.
I have my monitor can handle it. It's one of those you can hook up one of those what is it, the H4H whatever K televisions or whatever it is. Yeah, so it could go up that high and but it's better that if you keep it at 60 because if you obviously if you put it up higher you're going to be eating a lot of resources. I noticed it because my graphics card, the fans and everything, it was like a snowblower in here. That's how loud the fans were. So I was like, okay, well, let me bring it back down to 60 frames per, and yeah, it handles like a dream. I mean, it's just, for me at least, the response in the attacks, I can do more combos. I can hit the monster more. I miss less than I did with the controller. Obviously, having evade on the spacebar is just heaven. As opposed to the button on the X on PlayStation 4. Yeah, so it's for me it's a dream. It handles like a dream. It's like a Cadillac versus a high-end sports car.
Yeah, I mean, I will say for me, I've been playing since PS2 days, and having the bottom of the four face buttons be a dodge is how it's been since I've been playing Monster Hunter for 13 years. So that doesn't bother me. It did bother me when we switched to buttons from a joystick at first, but it's very much better.
Yeah, it was weird for me when I first played it on, because, like I said, I've been out of the loop on consoles for a good
Yeah.
long time. And before it wasn't like that. Before it was just like whatever your left three joystick was. That's wherever the joystick was pointed, that's where the camera went as well. So the R2 side or the R3, it was like weird for me. Like, okay, now I'm moving forward, but at the same time I have to move the camera to look at the monster or whatever I'm looking at. And sometimes I would be attacking the monster, but not looking at it, because the camera was turned the other way because I was trying to, either evade or push the other buttons. And so, yeah, it was weird to get used to that particular setup.
Okay.
Yeah. So, I mean, but yeah, once I got used to it again, and I was like, oh, okay, well, it feels like the good old DualShock. Yeah, the only difference was the camera movement. But yeah, but it was still, I still would struggle a little bit, especially with longsword. Uh, you know, trying to hit him, and then I ended up missing, and it was just like, oh great, I have to look at it. Where is he? And I was just like frantically moving the camera around just to see where the monster was, so I could, reestablish my aim and then try to hit it.
Okay.
That's probably the reason why I went with heavy bowgun first, and then I went to longsword. Because at least with the bowgun, obviously you got your reticle and you're aiming, and you're trying to align your shots with whatever it is, whatever weak spot you're trying to hit on the
Right.
monster.
Yeah. Which seems to. I mean, it matters a lot more. Or I don't know. I think it mattered before. I think it's easier to tell now for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, you mentioned you switched off to longsword. So, me being a longsword main, how do you feel? How do you feel about that? Like, is that?
I mean, like I said, I'm loving it. I mean, oh man, I already killed
Okay.
Great Jagras. I mean, I killed him with ease. I mean, he was down. I kept going at him. He probably knocked me back once, and but then again, at the same time, now I know what to do. As before, when I came into Monster Hunter for the first time, I was like, well, wait, what do I do again? Oh, okay, oh, great. He knocked me down and he threw up on me, and now I'm dead. Now it's like, yeah, okay, buddy. Yeah, you're going to try your spit at me? Oh, yeah, let me roll out the way and then stab you, and then, leap up in the air and then come down on you. Yeah, I'm loving it, man. And then on the mission where you went on the expedition, they gave you the options. Like, yeah, you can always go back to base and then, hunt Great Jagras or Cooley Cool. Later on, I chose not to. I stayed and I killed them both. They were both at it. They were both attacking, fighting each other, and I took the opportunity and I killed them both.
Cool.
Now I'm in the about to take the mission to go hunt Pukey,
Yes.
as I call him. And so yeah, we'll see how that goes. And I kept running into Anjanath, and of course, I was told, no, don't fight him because you're not ready for him. So at least now I'm not as scared as I was before. I mean, I said it before and earlier on in the shows. I was sitting there fishing, and then I heard a thump, thump, and then all of a sudden I hear a roar, and I'm sitting there trying to run away with the fishing pole in my hand, and and this thing is just chasing me, and I'm like, oh my god, I can't get away, and squish. So yeah,
Yeah, yeah. It's very easy to leave that fishing pole out.
yeah, especially when you panic.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Um, so that's it's sounding like you're enjoying playing through again. Now I can't remember how many hours did you put in the first time on the PS4?
oh, I think I had like 500.
So you're about 10, 15 less than me, and you're totally okay doing this all over again. All right.
Yeah, well, okay, well, for me, I have a tendency that if I start something, right, and I don't, I guess it's my OCD, if you want to call it that. If I start something and I mess something up, or I do it, or if I feel that I did it wrong, I don't mind starting over again. I don't mind scrapping everything and starting over again, just to make sure it's
Sure.
done right. Um, yeah. So I mean, the only thing that I'm kind of like oof on is all the jewels or the
Yeah.
gems that I've collected. But then again, I never had a freaking attack jewel. I mean, I don't think nobody has. I mean, those that do have more than two are
I
lucky,
think I'm lucky having
to
two,
say the least.
period. I mean, I have two, but
Yeah, I only have one, and that's the one they gave me in the beginning. So for me, it's like, okay, well, that gives me the chance to actually really sit down and just, do everything right. Like, for example, go on expeditions and pick up everything on the map and just go on gathering, just gather the crap out of everything and follow monsters around, collecting their tracks, um, finding, exploring every nook and cranny on the map. Something I wanted to do in the PS4 version, but since monsters were chasing me down and trying to kill me, I didn't get the chance to do so. But now that I know what they're capable of, now I know that how to actually use the longsword. I don't have a problem. If I have to take them down, then I will, and then I'll just continue on about my business, foraging and doing whatever.
so basically what you're saying is PS4 was training mode. Now you're the bad A hunter on the
Well, I wouldn't call myself a bad A hunter. I mean, but it's yeah. The PS4 was like a training grounds for me. Now it's like, okay, I'm more of a novice. I'm not calling myself an expert, not by any means. Uh, there are other people that obviously they're soloing Behemoth, and I can't, as of yet, I can't even solo a freaking Pickle Joe or a Devil Joe.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. So my philosophy is, and as a person, it's been primarily in the Monster Hunter community for the past, I would say 7 years, because I was very active on the Monster Hunter Reddit for a long time, and then I was a moderator like a year after that. So for 6 years, I was a mod. It's a lot of people are like, oh, they compare themselves to people like me who have been playing forever. And I will tell you right now, I'm not the best player in the world. I never have been. I will never claim to be. But I've been through all the games. But people get all tied up in the whole I'm a veteran hunter kind of thing, right? And
Right.
to me, if you've played enough of a Monster Hunter game for one title to say I've done everything I feel like I need to do, sort of finished it in quotations, because I mean there's always something more you can do. if you've played a game into your personal completion in the series, I would consider you a vet. So you understand, what's going on. Except for Monster Hunter Stories. No, that doesn't count. I don't mean to crap on that game. I actually enjoyed it when I played it, but it's not the same. It's not a mainline Monster Hunter at all. It's more like a Pokemon, or actually it's more like Digimon World. If you ever played that, but
Yeah, I played a little bit of it. Yeah, I know.
so yeah, there's that. Although, oh god, I really loved Digimon World 2. I know it's a sidetrack. I really loved it, but it had this crazy, stupid idea that it was a level cap at 13, and you had to breed to get above that, but it only increased the cap by 2. So just to get past 20, you had to do like 7 generations of breeding. It was so bad. So bad. I always thought it was a glitch in the game. I always thought it was a glitch until I figured it out, and I was like, oh no. No.
Yeah, it's like this. There was this one RPG on PlayStation 1. I forgot the name of it. It was so long ago. But it was like Pokemon or Digimon,
Mm-hmm.
where you collected monsters or little creatures, and you crossbreed them, and they made up a new breed of monster. But you could only level them up to level, I think, 100 was the cap, and after that you had to breed them like crazy to go above it. And even then, it wasn't a guarantee that you would get the one that you would want with the powers and whatnot that you wanted. So, I mean, they had elements as well, like fire, ice, and all that. But yeah, it wasn't a guarantee. So you would get like a better monster, but it was ugly, or or you would get a pretty one, but didn't have the stats that you wanted. So yeah, it was annoying, but the game was okay.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
It was my first RPG, really,
Gosh.
because I never really got into RPGs as much.
I mean, my first like traditional like JRPG kind of thing was Final Fantasy VII. So.
Oh, yeah, I almost got into that one. I mean, geez, I remember when it first came out and everybody was going crazy for it. I almost bought it, but I was like, I just don't feel like going through all this reading. That's one of the reasons why I've never been able to get into Final Fantasy, because it was like the freaking, if I just wanted to read, I would just buy a friggin' book and sit down and read. It's just like, if I'm gonna play, I want to play. If I'm gonna read, I'll just get a book. That was my whole thing. That's why I never got into what is it now, 14?
Yeah.
The online version. Yeah. Otherwise, I would have been all over it. I would have been all over it just to play the Monster Hunter content that's on over there.
Right. 14's the MMO that's getting the crossover. 15 is what they're currently at.
Oh, okay.
I only like 7 and Tactics. That's it. I'm not a big Final Fantasy fan either. I've never been that big of an RPG fan. Although, spoilers for upcoming side quest, I love Octopath Traveler.
Oh, okay.
I'm just saying, it's pretty good. And it is one of those traditional RPGs, but they actually do something with the storytelling that's a little different, and the battles, it's a little different. Yeah, I'm definitely more of a Doom first-person shooter
Doom type
kind of thing,
yeah.
which Doom Eternal had its gameplay reveal on Friday. So stoked.
Nice.
I was just like, I thought I was going to miss it. I didn't. I went to lunch for work, and I got back from lunch, and it was like, oh, and it's just now starting. And I'm like, score, because the live stream started at noon my time. And then I got back at 12:45, and I was like, well, I probably missed it. And then I just checked my phone. It's starting in and they're like no one said anything about Doom yet, so I hopped on the live stream, and literally the guys were like, "Okay, you ready to see it?" I'm like, "Oh, okay, let's go." Yeah, this is a Monster Hunter podcast. We can't talk about Doom, can we? I don't know. But, so, again, like PC version, I heard some rumors, and I'm not sure if it's true. Does it not have stuff like Devil Joe and Lunastra, or does it?
No, no, not yet. Now, when it came out,
that's bad.
It is. But then again, I don't know. I guess it depends. I know two people right now that are hardcore into it. I mean, they're like, I might go back and stream PlayStation 4. That's how hardcore they are into the PC version. And so I think they're a little bit past Diablo.
Okay.
So they're almost there. So when they get to the end game, there's not gonna be a Devil Joe or a Lunastra or definitely not a Behemoth. So I'm gonna assume that these guys are gonna bring out the updates later on this month.
I hope.
So it should cover those. And I mean, I didn't think there was going to be any downloadable content either, but there was a good handful of downloadable content. Obviously, no Street Fighter, no Devil May Cry, or any of the other stuff, but the stuff before it, it's all there, for you to rebuy. Which I don't mind. I don't mind. I believe in Monster Hunter, and I love the game, and I love it enough where I don't mind spending the money on it to support it. So yeah, I mean, I rebought all the downloadable content, and they have the soundtrack for it for you to download, which is great because I was looking at it on iTunes. On Steam it's $17.99. On iTunes it's $24.99.
Okay.
Yeah, so but then I have to also look at the songs lists because I think I'm not 100% sure. The iTunes version has more songs than the one on Steam.
Okay.
Yeah, so I have to look into that to make sure. But yeah, it's cool, and that's what I was looking at too. I was like, man, I wonder if they have an actual soundtrack that's not dubbed from the game. It's usually somebody that turned down all the sound effects, and then you're just getting the in-game recording.
Right. I have the soundtrack, but that's because I got the collector's edition.
Okay.
I'd have to find it. I know it's here somewhere. I mean, I know where my collector's edition is. I think the CD's inside of the box or something. It's literally right behind me. I just turn around, it's right there. But
yeah, it's a hefty box from what I saw.
Yeah, it's disorganized and not put together. But I got my Nergigante statue too, which, as my 3-year-old says, it's spiky.
Yeah, it's very spiky. I would have loved the Devil Joe though.
I mean, I think I would have loved Diablos more, but like, there's, it's just the one they did. It's a high quality figure, very high quality. That's why I leave it here and don't take it to work. Unlike my Funko Pop Zinogre that my brother got me, which is fun. But you haven't got to fight Zinogre.
No.
Yeah, I'm still. I don't know. Like it's not that I'm done with Monster Hunter World entirely. I'm sure they're going to bring out some more stuff. I just want them to bring out more stuff. You know what I mean? Like.
Right.
And playing it over again on PC, it's going to be like, well, it's still the same stuff, right? It'd be kind of a weird thing to have PC version to come out with exclusive content but they kind of did that with PlayStation 4 anyways, with the whole
Right.
Aloy armor set. Right, it's just Aloy.
Yeah. 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 I was hoping that they would have something different as
Mm-hmm.
well, but yeah. Well, at this point, it is what it is. Like I said, I for one, if Monster Hunter would have came out on PC in the beginning, along with the console versions, I probably would have never bought a PlayStation 4. I still would have had my PS3 sitting next to my desk, and I would have went straight to the PC version, and
Yeah, I guess PlayStation 1 out
yeah,
there. Yeah.
yeah. So, and that's because like I made the decision to go ahead and buy it because I was like, well, when is this game coming out on PC? And they're like, dude, that's not going to come out to the end of the year. But back then again, that's what everybody thought. It was going to come out at the end of the year. So I was like, screw that. I'm not going to wait that long. Everybody's going to be, all the hype and everything is going to die down. And by the time I get into the game, then it's not going to be really anybody to play with. So that's why I decided, then again, knowing what I knew back then compared to now, I said, okay, well, I'm just going to screw it. I'll just buy a PS4. I'll get back into console gaming. I'll have an updated Blu-ray player, and I'll get Monster Hunter. Call it a
Right.
day. It's like, all right.
I'm
So, I mean, like I said, it worked out. It worked out fine.
I mean, the kind of missing the boat thing kind of already happened, even though it's only August and it came out. Um, like there was a lot of people who are like, Monster Hunter's old news, and by this point, I don't care about it on PC. And this is coming from just personal anecdotes that I've talked to people. Um, I mentioned like some people at my workplace know that I do the Monster Hunter podcast. So every once in a while, there's a couple guys there who were fans of Monster Hunter, and they've talked to me a couple times, and they're all like, "Yeah, I'm kind of just skipping it now. I was gonna wait for PC, but man, there's other stuff." And it's just like I kind of feel like not having it out with the other titles was a big missed opportunity.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like they wanted to focus on the game and then not worry about the PC stuff because Capcom did this in house, so which isn't really Capcom isn't really known for a lot of PC versions of things as far as I know,
Right.
or at least especially in house. So it's good on them that they did that, but at the same time, I think in a lot of ways, at least from what I've seen anecdotally, it seemed to have suffered because of that later release.
Yeah.
Which is unfortunate for
Kind
the
of.
PC version of the game, but in no way did Monster Hunter World suffer on sales. Being
Oh no. I mean, they had what? Last I heard, they had 1.2 million pre-orders on Steam. So I mean,
right,
that's more money in their pockets.
that's
So,
true. Yeah, it is selling well. It's just like just the stuff I'm hearing from people. Like I already had it. It's been a lot of mentality of that. Just I don't know, in the insular Monster Hunter community, I would say.
yeah, and that's why I was saying uh, prior that it was if they're gonna bring out the PC version, it'd be great if they added extra stuff to it or made something different about it. Sort of to give people the incentive that hey, yeah, it's Monster Hunter World, but it has something different, something that the consoles didn't have. Thus, it's logical to go buy it. As opposed to it being the same clone port, and things are what they are now.
It would have been bad, just real bad. Exclusive
Mm.
monster. That would have ruffled a lot of feathers. Or G rank.
Yeah. Or G rank, yeah, because then people would have been like, "Are you kidding me?" That's like, oh man, that's like, I mean, now consoles, games that are in both PC and console, they support the PC side more, of course. So everything comes out first on PC, and everybody else has to wait a month or two on the on the console side. And then when they finally do bring out the content, um, something's
Yeah.
missing from the content, and everybody loses their stuff, and it's an outcry. I can't believe this. I spent this money, and you guys didn't port over everything, or why are you guys moving this instead of that, and blah blah blah. Yeah, it's
The
insane.
sense of entitlement is strong with this one.
Yeah, basically, they want their
Yeah.
trophy.
I mean, I got the platinum trophy. I worked hard for it though.
Yeah, I'm not even trying, and I'm getting. Well, I was getting there on the
Hmm.
crowns. I mean, I wasn't even trying. I was just trying to get the jewels. That's what I wanted. I was like, I'm gonna try one more time. Let me see if I can get a jewel. And oh, congratulations, you got a largest crown or the smallest crown. I'm like, oh, okay, yay. Where the hell is my jewel?
Yeah. Yeah. It's I don't know. Like it's the PC version. Like I said, I was so excited for it first, and I'm like, I mean, some of it's personal life stuff too that I've just sort of had to put, a lot of other things on the sideline right now. But like, it's just like it feels like the magic, the magic that was the release of Monster Hunter World is just sort of faded for me at this point. And I think a lot of it was the fact that I've pretty much played the crap out of this game. I've never crown hunted before, and the fact that I finished crown hunting and I feel like it was a lot quicker than any other game. Like, gosh, I played Generations like that whole year. I feel like until I lost my save in December. Yeah, so like the whole year because it came like what? It might have came out in June, so it was 6 months. That's not bad, but I know for you, I played that whole year because that came out in February. So like, and I played that off and on until Generations came out, and that was, yeah, it was a whole year. So like, I don't know. I feel like, I mean, a lot of it is you're getting to the end game quicker in Monster Hunter World,
Right.
and I'm sure, and I know a lot of, we've had previous guests on here like Gog who is speed running, attempting to speed run through the game to get to where he was and that kind of thing.
Yeah, you have a lot of people that are trying to do that, and everybody's like, "No, no, no, it's okay, dude. Take your time. Just get up to 50 or whatever, and just finish the story, and then worry about the rest later. Take your time." And there's a lot of people who are like, "Nope, I need to get there as fast as I can because I want to get my jewels and my gear sets and everything that I had, back." And be ready for whatever other new content they're gonna throw out there.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm right now I'm kind of that way because I'm looking at all the people that I play with and they're way up there and I'm like you know I obviously I was working so I didn't have the time to sit down and really play the game like I wanted to. Um, and then I had planned to take days off from work, but my boss took a vacation before any of us could respond or react
Ah,
to asking for PTO. So we're like, oh, are you kidding me?
jerk move.
So yeah, yeah, yeah. It's like he knew, like, yeah, he's gonna do PTO for Monster Hunter PC. So I'm gonna take a vacation before he decides to ask for it. But yeah, so it was, yeah, I couldn't do it. So I had to sit here and be like, well, I'm not about to call off because that would be bad. So I'd rather, that's no big deal. I was like, well, I'll just, I'll do it at another time. But in the meantime, I'll just log in and try to, set myself up with the options and the gestures and the stickers and all that other
Yeah.
stuff that's customizable in the game. And that's what I was mainly doing these past few days. I played, like I said today, I played a good portion. Like I said, I killed Great Jagras and I killed Huli Kuv, and I'm getting ready to go kill Pukey Pukey.
Yep. If I could never hunt him again, I'd be happy.
It's Huli Kuv for me. I hate that stupid bird thing. God, I hate that thing with a passion.
It's
You know, and then when it I hated it even more when you had to fight it during the Behemoth
yeah.
storyline, because that,
It gets big.
oh man, it gets big and it would hit harder, but at the same time, if you wounded it, so it was running off or it was hobbling off, and you had to be quick to chase it, because if it reached its nest or its cave, it would regenerate.
Yeah.
So then you had to start all over again. So it was just like, oh, I hate you, you stupid bird thing. So, I don't mind fighting Pukey Pukey. I mean, it's like, at first I hated him too, because he was always smacking me around with his tongue and then poisoning me. So it was, it was a pain to try to dodge and try to heal yourself with the anti-poison thing. So yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I don't want to fight Pukey. I can't say it now. Puke. There we go. Got me messed up there. Yeah, Puke, because I killed him 230 times to get his crown, so I'm just done with him. That's the only reason. It's not because I hate him. It's just I hated him. I'm over it now. I just still don't want to fight him.
It's understandable. I mean, it's like for me when I've left other games, and people. I mean, like a good example, and I know you're not a fan of it because, you're not a big sci-fi guy.
Mm-hmm.
Star Trek Online. I played that game for 5 years straight. I didn't play no other games. That was my religion. I would wake up, I would sleep for 4 hours, wake up, and play the crap out of that game. If I had the day off and I had nothing going on, I was sitting in front of the computer all day playing that game. And then it wasn't until things started changing and it was basically the same content, and I was like, well, I already went through this. I don't feel like going through this anymore. And I have like 16 other alts that I have to go through this again. I was like, I think I'm done.
Yeah.
So, and I stepped away, and then now my friends are like, dude, when are you gonna come back? And I would I would be like, well, dude, you're the one that was giving me crap because I was always playing that game and I wasn't playing anything else, and now you're asking me to come back. Yeah, and they're like, yeah, come on, dude. I'm like, nah, no thanks. I'm cool. I'd rather go into my closet and pull out my old G.I. Joes from my childhood and sit down and play with those than to go back to playing Star Trek Online.
Yeah, I'm not at that point with Monster Hunter World yet, but I could see myself getting there if I played it on PC. I'll just put it that way.
Yeah.
Like I just I don't feel like it was something that was worth that much time to do all over again. Like especially the crown hunting. It's just how I am. Like I'd want to do that again, but I don't want to do that again, so I'm just not going to play. Like it's just, I don't know. I don't mean to be down on the PC version. It's great that it's selling well. It's great that it's coming to PC. It's just for us that had already played it, a lot of us at least, it's like, okay,
Yeah.
it's there.
No, I get it. I understand. I mean, like I said, it's that line that's being drawn right now. There's a lot of people that don't want to go through that again, and then there are those who are uh, can't afford it, and it's so it's a lot of it sort of divided the community, and it's unfortunate. Uh, but at the same time, it's understandable if you went through a lot and you put that many hours into the console version, and then only to abandon it and start over on PC.
Hmm. Yeah.
A lot of then you have your Twitch streamers who are also kind of on the wall about it because they're like, I don't feel like going through this again, but at the same time, it would be stupid not to get into the PC version because you're basically an entertainer at that point,
Yeah.
right? So you're entertaining people and they're giving you their monies to be a good entertainer. So for them as they see it, for them not to get into the PC version would be foolish and a loss of money
Mm-hmm.
if they didn't. So I see their point as well.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. Like it's in this weird place for me. It's just there.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, like I said, I'm loving it. I'm gonna obviously keep playing on it. I'll go back to my PS4 version. If obviously something right now it's what Arch Toasty or Toaster.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do that either. I don't care to.
Yeah, it's like the Arch ones, man. Oof.
Yeah, they're just
Yeah.
like I don't know. Like I have the build that I like, and even which is Val, like I've mentioned before, and I kind of don't feel like changing it up, hardly at all. And then like I don't know, like even the Val Arc Tempered Val, which I was excited for, and then when we got it, I was like, it's actually not that good, like for what I want to do. So I made one piece of Arc Tempered Val, and I just sort of I don't even do the layered armors now. Like I just don't care. Like it's just like okay. I've definitely hit a point where I'm just sort of done for now until something really big comes. So so my
Right.
attention is going to be focused here in what is it, 16 days, a little over 2 weeks, on GU. That's where my attention is going to go, and
Right.
because I love my Switch. Like seriously, it's my favorite console ever. um, so yeah. Well, did you have any final thoughts on just talking about PC? We kind of hit all over on it. In my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, so far, like I said, I'm at a point where I'm about to fight Pukey Pukey, so
Yeah.
it's, I'm enjoying the different controller aspect, the mouse and keyboard aspect of the game.
Well, I mean, you are traditionally
Though
a PC player too, right? So
yeah,
that makes
yeah,
sense.
yeah.
I mean, I was first a PC player, but I was also two. So, yeah, I've grown up on consoles since I was 4. So I've done both. I'm both a PC and a console gamer. I always have been. I've always gone back and replayed the old Dooms on PC and the old Duke Nukems. And we're talking old Duke Nukems before they were 3D. We're talking the 2D Duke Nukems.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
2Ds. Yeah.
Like the like stuff like that I've always gone back and played. But like for me, like I don't know, I like the controls of Monster Hunter as a controller. So that's what I chose to play with because that's where it started. That's how I've always played it. And like I said, I've always been sort of a hybrid of both a console and a PC gamer. I mean, at one point I owned everything. At one point I had an up-to-date PC, an Xbox 360, a PS3, and a Wii U. No, Wii U was later. I had all of them. That was about the time that Diablo 3 came out. So I bought a PC to handle that, and then like people were like, you got to play Call of Duty with us. It's like, well, I already have a PS3. I'll just play it on that. Like, no, we're on Xbox. So like literally, someone gave me an Xbox 360. So I had.
Yeah, I would go crazy. I'd go crazy.
Oh, it was boy, the 360 was like literally I play with these guys, whenever they want to play. The PS3 was like whenever I want to play something, and the Wii kind of collected dust on the shelf because I was done with try for the moment. So, right. And then I was playing Diablo with the ex-wife and my brother at the time.
Okay. Yeah. See, it's yeah. It's like for me, it's like I had some of my friends who were like, dude, why don't you get a Switch and all this other stuff? And I was like, dude, I'm not a Nintendo fan, man. I never have been. I mean, I almost bought the original Nintendo.
Mm-hmm.
But I saw that the Sega Master System was better in my opinion. Because it had more media to it. It had aside from the cartridge, it had a card, and I didn't feel like blowing in on my cartridges every time I had to use them. Yeah, that was out of the question. So I was like, yeah, you know what? I'm gonna be the black sheep of the community and just buy a Sega Master System.
Yeah. I'm familiar with being the black sheep of a lot of different things, especially the guy who doesn't like anime and who's super into Monster Hunter. I feel like that's just like a niche audience already with Monster Hunter, and it's like, oh, a lot of them cross over at anime, and I just don't like. Although, like I mentioned, I am going to be watching Dragon Maid here soon. Dragon Maid. I was told by So Hellkite that I need to watch it, so I have to listen to him. Apparently, apparently I have my no opinion on my own. Well, I think we'll just wrap it up there then. So thank you, Hunters, for joining us today. Just me and MaddWolfe. I think we had a good conversation there, though.
Yeah, it's good.
So this is at Hunters Hub Pod, Fortuan here. That's kind of a weird way to word it, but whatever. Anyways, I will see you guys on the next quest. And where will we find you, Mad?
You can find me on Twitter at MaddWolf_the7.
I thought you said the Lumber 7. I'm tired.
No, yeah. Lumber
7.
Number 7. That's not a bad name.
I'm just thinking of going.
That's not a bad handle. That's not a bad handle. Lumber 7.
I mean, I imagine you're walking through Lowe's and like, there's Lumber 7. I hate going to Lowe's.
Yeah. Oh God. Think about it. This would be another podcast entirely